first of all, let's talk about why the mean is the most preferred average to use. Well, I mentioned one of these, and that is that if you use the mean, you know that that's not going to limit you in terms of future calculations. All right, so you can do more math with the mean than you could if you were using the median or the mode. So that's one reason why we prefer to report the mean. Another reason that the mean is a consistent estimate. Do you remember what that means? It's a consistent estimate. That means that if we increase our sample size, in theory, the sample mean should be a better estimate. All right, so as sample size increases, the sample mean gets closer and closer to the mean of the population. In other words, it's getting better and better, right? It's getting more accurate. So that predictability is something that researchers really like. They like knowing that all they have to do is increase sample size, and at least in theory, their sample mean should be a better estimate, with the bigger sample sizes than with the small sample sizes. All right. Of course, that's only in theory. Sometimes we can collect a huge sample and our mean could still be off. Now, this third one is something that we're only going to talk about later in chapter 4. So you're going to have to kind of stay tuned. But just if we use our own intuition to say that the mean is an unbiased estimate, well, if something is unbiased, what does your intuition tell you? Does that kind of tell you that's a good thing or a bad thing to be unbiased? Well, I'm hoping that you all said unbiased, right? Being unbiased is a good thing. Now, what does it mean to say that the mean is unbiased? Well, again, I can't get into that just yet. We're going to have to wait until chapter 4 to learn what that means. But you can at least put it down as something that's good, right? You know that being unbiased is good. Okay, so when should you not use the mean? Because I did mention that there are some situations where the mean is not preferred. Most of the time it is, right? But if your distribution is sufficiently skewed, and by now you should know what skewed means, but I'll show you. But if the distribution is sufficiently skewed, then you would not want to use the mean. So the mean, although it's the champion most of the time, this would be an instance where you would choose some other way of measuring average.